Can Trish Stratus have one last run as Raw Women's Champion? And the basic simple answer to that question is, of course she can. She's a Hall of Famer for a reason. She's a multi-time Women's World Champion. For a lot of people, Lita and herself started the revolution that has led to where WWE's women's wrestling is today. And I know this goes against a lot of what I said about part-timers, about stars who are past their prime, about stars who have already retired and haven't been a part of the active roster for the past 3-5 years, all of which Trish Stratus is a part of. But all you really have to do is just take a look at what WWE has done with the women's division. Now, at WrestleMania, we got two groundbreaking, two slobber knockers of matches with Bianca Belair versus Asuka, Bianca Belair retaining her title, and Rhea Ripley defeating Charlotte Flair to become the SmackDown Women's Champion. Now, the matches themselves, the talent pool that we have on both the Raw and SmackDown Women's divisions, that's not in question. We all know that most of these women can eventually one day make it to the top, and they can eventually become their brand's women's champion. Story-wise, storyline-wise, character-wise, WWE has not figured out how to really make all of these women stand out. To the point that today, Io Sky is a number one contender to the Raw Women's Championship. She won a triple threat match last week on Monday Night Raw. And like I said, nobody denies Io Sky's talent. Nobody denies that she could beat Bianca Belair one-on-one, straight up, in a wrestling match. Competitive as hell, anything could happen. But the character and the story does not call for Io Sky to become the Raw Women's Champion. Not yet, at least. As a matter of fact, I believe that Io Sky becoming number one contender is just another chapter in Damage Control story. The disbandment, the dysfunction of Damage Control, it might start to creep in when it comes to WWE, with Io Sky losing to Bianca Belair at Backlash for the Raw Women's Championship. So after that, who's left? Who's left? Bayley can't challenge for the title anymore. She's already lost to Bianca Belair. Asuka lost on the grandest stage of them all, so she's not getting a title shot. Becky Lynch, we've had too much of Becky versus Bianca, and as much as I love their matches, we're not going to get them going back at it once again. And you can go over the entire Raw Women's roster, and you're left with slim pickings. Liv Morgan is a part of SmackDown, and she's the Women's Tag Team Champion, which makes her a part of both rosters, but again, she's a Women's Tag Team Champion. So, Trish Stratus turning heel on Becky Lynch last week on Monday Night Raw pretty much served for the catalyst and a spark in this division once more. Because at Backlash, maybe, we might get Trish versus Becky. Maybe. There were rumors that this match would happen at SummerSlam later this year. That's all the way in August. That's almost 4 months away. They started this turn pretty damn soon in order for that to happen. So now my question is, somebody has to beat Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship. Somebody has to break her year-long title reign. And if it wasn't Asuka at WrestleMania, who else? Who else? I mean, it could have been Rhea Ripley, but again, she's the SmackDown Women's Champion now. She went over to SmackDown. As much as we would love to see that match, maybe down the line at SummerSlam, title versus title unification match, possibly, I don't know. That could be a possibility. But other than that, there are very, very few options. And the same thing as in the women's tag team division. Where are the tag teams? Corey Graves has said it best in one of his After the Bell podcasts, I believe. The tag team division, and when it comes to the female competitors is non-existent. You put two women together, they tag for a while, and then you break them up, whether in storyline or not. That's exactly what they're doing right now with Damage Control, unfortunately. Instead of keeping them as a tag team, they did that in NXT once Mandy Rose left. They did that with JC and Gigi. Instead of bringing them up to the main roster and helping out the women's tag team division, you have Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, who are about to challenge for the women's tag team championships. That could be a very good future feud. But again, I believe Trish Stratus eventually, very soon, has to become Raw Women's Champion. She has to beat Bianca Belair, because there is nobody on the roster currently that they have built up to the point that can beat the EST of WWE, especially not in her year-long title reign. And besides, the matches between Trish and Bianca Belair, chef's kiss. So with that said, what do you think? Do you think Trish Stratus has one last run as the top female on Monday Night Raw? Or do you think that this is just a one-off feud with Becky Lynch, where we get eventually a full-on retirement match for Trish Stratus at SummerSlam in Detroit in a stadium hopefully packed of WWE fans? Leave your thoughts, comments, and predictions in the comments section below. I'm Alexis Carrillo. This has been Wrestling Talk. Tune in later on tonight to USA Network for another episode of Monday Night Raw, where we'll get to hear, possibly, hopefully, Brock Lesnar's reasoning as to why he attacked Cody Rhodes 2 weeks ago. With that said, have a great day and see you next time.